Greetings, everyone. Greetings, Frank, the one
Here
watching
we are.
live, after, or whenever you want. That's why it's recorded. Yeah, today we're together with Frank. How are you, Frank, today?
Yeah, vibing. Yeah, feeling positive. Here
Vibing high.
on here on another moon day. Oh, I'm just
Yeah.
looking. There's a squirrel directly in front of me, just chilling. He's looking right at me too, right through the window. That's so
Oh,
funny.
that's nice.
I was
Yeah,
not expecting to see that, but here he is,
yeah,
right there.
yeah. Squirrels are very strange animal. I like them. I like them. I like to see them, and
Mhm.
also the way they travel on electric wire and stuff. It's amazing.
Right.
Places they climb and stuff. No, squirrel. I always said it. Feed the squirrel, of course. Feed
Right.
the bird and feed the squirrel.
Hmm.
I
Yes.
take that very seriously.
All right. Yeah.
So
I know a
yeah,
lot of people who feed birds, they get so angry at the squirrels. They're like, I can't. The squirrel's going to eat all of the bird food, but just put down some for the squirrel, put some in the bird for
yeah.
the bird feeder, then they can both have some.
No, no, me. I feed both
Yeah.
for sure. And they're nice. Also, like at this time of the year, we have blue jays. Like yesterday, I must have had like maybe 10 blue jays around my feeder. I was like, wow, that's
Uh-huh.
amazing. And those birds, that's my favorite bird, the blue jay and the cardinal, the red cardinal.
Oh, yeah. Hmm.
And the song that they emit, the red cardinal,
Yeah.
OMG. That
Uh-huh.
is something. I try to mimic it all the time. I'm always like in the summer outside, I'm trying to talk to them sometimes. Like I
Right.
mimic their sound because it's quite easy the cardinal to do their sound. You just have to whistle a bit and
Mhm.
you can get
Right.
it. And sometimes they seem to reply. Like I hear them chanting back and forth, and like, are you replying? Maybe, maybe that's what they're doing. Who knows? So yeah, so I'm very grateful to be here with you, Frank. Again, I have to
Same.
express my gratitude always to even have the chance to come here on YouTube and speak.
Yeah.
I take this very seriously. It's not a joke for me, and I've
Hmm.
been we have been given a great responsibility to speak to the world. So I will speak with serenity and kindness always. Uh,
Yes.
Not here to cause stir up shit. There's enough in the world. So no, we're here. It's all love always, and it will always be because that's what
Hmm.
it's all about. It's about
Yeah.
love. Love is the highest frequency of all. Like you want to live on a higher frequency. Open up your heart and let the love flow. And
Yes.
don't be in fear. Don't be in fear. There's nothing to fear but fear itself. So go out and go
Hmm.
go go experience the world. So the Wash Mania, Frank, we're gonna start with this. I think
Yes.
that's where we were. I don't remember doing that we did this one, so I'll let
Yeah.
you go on. We do the French and English. Always I've read in my natal chart somewhere that I like to speak a lot, apparently.
Uh-huh.
So that's maybe why I do the that's why I told you the other day. I do the French and English, maybe because I like to hear myself. But
Right.
I think it's a good thing to share also in both languages. Sometimes it can help some people to maybe
Yeah.
grasp a little bit more of what we're talking about. So it's on you, Frank. Washmania.
All right. Wash mania. There is a whole lot of washing going on in this world. People repeatedly rubbing and scrubbing themselves, their cars, and their homes. The waters around the world get polluted, but the filth never goes away. After a zillion baths, they still do not realize that only real filth is within. The enemy is not the dust, but the internal attitude, which is misaligned with the divine, and that won't go away by any amount of washing powders.
So true. I love this one.
It's
Le
good.
lavamania. Il y a beaucoup de lavage dans ce monde. Les gens se frottent et se nettoient de manière répétée. Le même traitement pour leur voiture et leur maison. Les eaux de la terre deviennent polluées, mais la crasse ne s'en va jamais. Après des millions de bains, ils ne réalisent toujours pas que la seule crasse est à l'intérieur. L'ennemi n'est pas la poussière, mais l'attitude interne qui est désalignée avec le divin et cela ne partira pas avec n'importe quelle quantité de lessive en poudre. Me, I always said it. We're all beautiful. We're all beautiful, but sometimes the beauty has to be as within, so without. So if you're
Mhm.
beautiful on the inside, often that's the beauty that you're going to show. And it's not about the physical appearance. Uh, Beauty for me is a smile. You know,
Mhm.
if you're capable to notice the beauty of this world, you will uh, feel the love a lot more. The reason why we're, I think, desensitized to true love, to divine love, is because we cannot recognize the beauty of this world for what it is.
Mhm.
Sets, sunrise, whatever it is, nature, beauty,
Yeah.
smile on people's faces. To me,
Mhm.
that's beauty. So often, and it's not about everyone is beautiful. There's no one ugly. You're ugly when you have a ugly inside. That's how I see it.
Oh, right.
When you're ugly inside, you're ugly on the outside. I don't care. You smile, you do whatever you want. Often it would be a fake smile. So you gotta really balance that stuff so it reflects what's on the inside.
Mhm.
Then your smile is genuine. Then people pick up your vibe also because they pick up your positivity and your good vibe associated with your smile when you're
Right.
genuine. And you feel that stuff when people are genuine. So I think no matter, and people are very, very busy. You go around and you will notice that people are busy washing stuff. No one can deny this. Just
Yeah.
observe them and you
Uh-huh.
will realize, like, especially in the summer, it's crazy. They wash so much stuff. Like, I haven't even washed my car, I think, the last year.
The rain washes the car.
The rain washes the car. I never scrub my car. It's very rare you're going to see me outside scrubbing my car unless it's
Yeah.
very filthy.
Yeah.
But other than that, I wait for the rain. The rain will wash it.
Yeah.
The rain washes everything. So
Mhm.
there is a natural washing process occurring, but we're so also desensitized with everything that is natural that we don't even think that the rain can do the work. But
Right.
yes, it does, and also that's what we do. We use soaps and all kinds of synthetic detergent on our body, on our clothes. We're into that wash mania, yeah, but also not very materialistic at the same time because we're
Right.
using very detrimental liquid detergent to wash everything. There's
Mhm.
something called black soap, which is very good. It's made with
Right.
oils and stuff. That's what I switched to now. I switched to
Mhm.
the black soap instead of all those uh, synthetic detergent, Windex, and all. Like, you can use 12% vinegar to wash your windows. You don't need to
Yeah.
use Windex with ammonia and spray that all over the place inside the house, and then you smell the ammonia. You're like, what the
Yeah.
heck is this? Yeah,
Yeah.
so you can engage in the wash mania, no problem, but at least do it with stuff that is not detrimental for you, your home, your pets, your everyone around, like
Right.
ammonia and stuff. So
Mhm.
I think people will always wash their stuff no matter what. But the
Right.
point here is that they think that washing their car, washing their home will, it's your brain that you have to wash.
Yes.
You should
Right.
wash your brain, maybe,
Mhm.
and erase everything you've been told, all the nonsense, and then
Yeah.
start from scratch. But the real thing that should be washed is your brain. So I'll leave it like that, Frank, and give you your opinion on the wash mania.
Yes, yes. Yeah, I mean, the washing bit is like there's nothing wrong with cleaning your space or your body or sanitizing things, and you can do it in a natural way, right? You can make a natural cleaner, like you said, with some vinegar or with some essential oils, or I mean, there's a lot of different things so that you're not toxifying your environment with synthetic or other types of chemicals and things like that that aren't um, you know suitable, or they're not they don't mesh well with our biology, with our human bodies. I mean, just think about all the aerosol and the different types of spray cleaners, and that stuff gets in your air, and then you're breathing it in. And so there's a lot of reasons why people can just have, not feel well, just because they might be, like using things that just aren't conducive to like real health and things like that. I mean, there's so much, neurotoxins. Oh my gosh, it pains me to say it, but like yesterday I was out. We went to a little place and we were skiing, and we went into the lodge, and my daughter had gotten a Diet Coke, and I was like, "Girl, do not! What are you doing?" And I like showed her the label. I was like, "Look, aspartame. That is a neurotoxin. Do not get that." But of course, kids they just want to get something that everybody else is drinking or whatever. But
I think it has to do with the realization also, once they realize that it's not supportive of their journey. I think we all have engaged into some stuff
yeah,
like this.
of course,
Like,
right.
Until
And so it just takes a little bit of education, and takes a little bit of wanting to be a real individual and not just kind of go along with everything. So I was happy to find that they had boiled peanuts there, and so we had a nice little protein power up. I was like, okay, good, this is like a vegetarian snack that I could feel good about or whatever. But back to the Washmania, P really makes the point that it's not I love this point. It says the enemy is not the dust, it's the internal attitude. That's where real beauty comes from. Like, how do we relate to nature? How do we relate to the earth? How do we relate to our environment and into others? Especially to ones who support us. Like, we can have that attitude of gratitude, that attitude of appreciation, to be able to really like just have this reciprocal energy, in which we're just trying to be positive. We're trying to help each other out. We're trying to help ourselves out. Like how P defines love is care and concern for the self. It starts with yourself and then it emanates out. So once you can start developing real care and concern for your health, for your well-being, for your, mental, spiritual, physical, all parts of you, to be able to take care of yourself. Once you start showing love towards yourself, then you can share it outwardly with others after that. And there's so many cool little lines. The real filth is within. The waters around the world get polluted, but the filth never goes away, right? And so there's a thing in the classical like healing and medicinal system from India called Ayurveda, and that has a lot to offer as far as like diet, lifestyle, herbs, different things that you can incorporate into your diet or your routine that's just going to keep you vibrant, keep you healthy, and like increase your longevity, increase your energy, mental clarity, and be able to detoxify yourself. And so one of the things that Ayurveda says is that whenever you are cleaning yourself, but you're noticing that, like, for instance, this is just an example. You can take a shower, right? But then like 5 minutes after the shower, maybe you notice, oh, I'm like still smelling like too strong, like my body odor or something like that. And so one of the things that Ayurveda says is that if you are having like kind of like strong body odors or different types of symptoms like that, even after washing, then that's actually like an internal toxicity. They call it ama.
Yeah.
And so that might say, okay, you might need to do a little like cleansing regimen to cleanse out some of the toxins that have built up in your body. And that's in that crosses over to a metaphor too, in terms of like, we can wash ourselves on the outside all we want, but actually there might be some internal kind of things that have accumulated, become stuck, different things in our psychology, different ways of thinking or looking at things that are just, like P says, they're misaligned with divine, right? So we can, the Ayurveda remedy would be, okay, take some certain type of herbs, clean up your diet and stuff like that. And then you can actually start ridding yourself of some of those internal toxins. And along with that, like the mental clarity will also start to, shine through as well. So,
yeah. And it comes back again to the child born in nature is not born with a bar of soap. So, if
right.
you eat proper food, and there is people that never use soap to wash themselves, never use deodorant. Personally, I don't use deodorant. I eat proper. I don't smell. I eat proper
Right.
food. I eat good food. Like, it's very rare that I'm going to put trash into myself. I happen, sometime maybe I'll fall for a poutine or something, but
Right.
maybe once every 6, because here it's rampant, the poutine. It's the national meal in Quebec, the
Right.
poutine. So maybe once every 6 months, I'll go to Grégoire and get a poutine, but no, other than that, it's good food, it's good stuff. So, yes, definitely, it will help you not smell so strong. So, just change your diet sometime, and it will solve all your odor problem. And
Yeah.
I'm not even talking about like I had a guy at work before where I used to work. He used to eat raw onion and raw garlic. Like right beside me, my machine. He used to take an onion. That's a bit
Wow.
extreme, là. Gérard, his name. I remember him. He used to eat raw garlic and the raw onion. Like, that's a bit extreme. That you might smell a bit after, definitely.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I'm talking like if you eat proper food for your body, you will not smell so much. And that's
Yeah.
true. And there is people that never use soap to shower. I've seen a
Mhm.
lot of people say that they never use soap, just water, because they eat proper food. They
Yeah.
have an alkaline diet, and they're not filled with junk. So for sure,
Mhm.
it's look, as within, so without. If
Right.
you if you eat stuff that is uh, like rotten, like often we eat
Mhm.
even rancid food, rotten food. But what do you
Yeah.
think is gonna happen? You think you're gonna smell good?
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
watch your diet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
was
next,
just thinking one last thing. It was like, think
yeah,
about like what is the smell of your psychology? What is the smell of
yeah,
your internal attitude? Does it smell like a rose? Does it smell like a flower? Are you being harmonious with your environment, with nature, with beings around you, like in a positive way? Or are you, just like P is saying, the internal attitude is um, you can't clean that by any amount of washing powders. You have to start changing that from within. So that's just the last note.
oh
You
yeah,
know.
no, and there's a sun dried vibes. I think is the band as a song. Wash your brain. Go.
Oh yeah.
Wash your brain. Yeah, sun dried vibes. I think. Next is a culture and agriculture. I
Yes.
think that's the next one.
Culture and agriculture. The so-called West, which is basically just a term for translucent occupied territory, did not have any culture, so it is so it is pointless to expect them to have agriculture. They did a really bad job of learning it too. And the worst part, they have been slash are spreading their own hellish mechanical, chemical, genetically modified anti-life version all over the planet. And even worse part is that others have adopted this madness.
Yeah. Riz naturellement propagé par du gobar bouse de vache. Yeah. Oh, nice on the picture I was reading. So, culture et agriculture. Ce qui est appelé l'Ouest, qui est en gros juste un terme pour le territoire occupé par des translucides, n'avait aucune culture. Il est donc inutile d'attendre d'eux qu'ils aient l'agriculture. Ils n'y sont ils s'y sont aussi très mal pris pour l'apprendre. Et le pire, ils ont répandent leur propre version mécanique, chimique, génétiquement modifiée, anti-vie sur toute la planète. Ce qui est encore pire, c'est que les autres ont adopté cette folie. That's what the worst is. Okay, I get it. The invaders came on the land and decimated the tribe, and
Right.
big trauma happened and shit. And now we're placed on here in the West, on Canada and US, and we have no culture whatsoever because we've been there has been so much collective trauma to done to the people here,
Mm.
to, like I said, to decimated the tribe and stuff, that we have lost the
Right.
culture. And even the often the First Nation of this country in US have lost their culture too because of assimilation and brainwash and stuff. And a lot of people in those places, like especially the First Nation people, were very much towards nature and people of nature and stuff. But you rarely see that today. Like, I mean, they're all in two little cities, little reserve and stuff, and they have secluded them. Like,
Mm.
that didn't help us to have a culture of agriculture, because they knew how to do things, the First Nation, when they were here. Like, they knew how to cultivate the earth and stuff. But now the invaders came on the land, decimated them, and we lost pretty much. So now we're stuck with an agriculture that is full of poison and stuff. They spray so much stuff. Like, there's nothing. You go on the field of corn here and try to find a critter or anything around. Like,
I know.
there's nothing goes around those fields because they're filled with chemicals, Roundup, and genetically modified corn, and
Mm.
it's not even food. Like,
Yeah.
there's not even, like, you look at what the food should have been looking like in the ancestral time, and it's
Mm.
nothing like today. A banana doesn't look like today.
Mm.
Banana and the corn and the wheat and all that glyphosate that they spray on top of it. And
Right.
look, there's a lot of stuff. We can go, the list is long. We would be here all winter of the nonsense that they do in the field. But when you're at the point where you have to put an hazmat suit to access a field of
Yeah.
food, there's a problem. But that
That
practice
shouldn't be.
also, that practice is all over now. That's the thing. See, they even have picked up some of the practice that they do here over in Europe, less because often the
Mm.
poison that we use here is banned in Europe. But
Yeah.
a lot of stuff is being picked up. I mean, they have to in there, and there's so much stuff being wasted too with agriculture. The food wasted, and
Mhm.
the amount of food that they grow is like so often way too much for the demand. So much
Yeah.
of the stuff end up in the garbage instead of taking it, feeding the poor. There's some farms I see they're giving away their stuff. I see that online often. They do a day
Mhm.
where they give away potatoes and stuff.
Right.
And there's some people that have a big heart, but most of the stuff you see growing in the field often end up in garbages and dump and stuff, and or it goes rotten because it takes too long to process, not enough demand, they
Right.
grow too much. So that's the idea, to go big with the field and
Mhm.
produce, and then boop, you're stuck with the produce, because anyway, and it's all often not stuff like corn. You heat corn, it's gonna come out old. Like, it's
Mhm.
not. It tells you, like, why are you not digesting it? Like, there's
Yeah.
something wrong if it comes in
Right.
the same way it goes out. Like, so that tells me it's probably genetically modified. If my body can break it down, who's gonna break it down? Like, we have acid stomach, all kinds of stuff,
Yeah.
and the and it's still come out intact. Hey, that acid stomach is strong. That acid in our
Right.
stomach is very strong.
Mhm.
So the pH, I think, is 1 or something.
Oh,
So
wow.
it's very, yeah, it's very low pH. Apparently, the acid in our stomach, so it can break down pretty much everything you put in. Look at
Mm.
the stuff usually that you put into your stomach. It's gonna break it down, but the corn
Right.
don't go. Like, it's super
Yeah.
weird. And every time I eat corn, it's the same thing. I'm like,
Mhm.
I gotta stop eating that shit. So I
Right.
gotta stop eating corn definitely, and that's what I told Kim. We're gonna stop. It makes no sense. Like,
Mhm.
so yeah, so the ways we do agriculture have to change definitely, but
Yeah.
I think it's has to do with the mentality of this old world that has to change too. And when this change, as within, so without. So once we change the practice that we do inside, like it's gonna reflect on the outside. I have no
Yeah.
concern, no worries about that. It's just we need to like we referred to the previous one, wash our brain, that
Hmm.
the all the toxic stuff out. You know,
Yeah. Get all that
detoxify.
trash
Yeah,
out.
get all the trash out, and
Hmm.
then we will grow good food. We will also not grow like so much food for nothing,
Yeah.
or give it away, give it to the homeless. Like,
Hmm.
it's terrible sometimes.
Right.
So yes, there is definitely we have to rethink the agriculture with better practice. Definitely,
Right.
think Frank.
Yeah.
Frank.
So
Okay.
culture and agriculture, and I will, yeah, just read this little caption that is in there's a picture above this
Yeah.
with PT standing in an area on his land in India, and it says rice
Sure.
naturally propagated by gobar, which is cow dung, natural fertilizer. Yeah, that's it. Right there. Um, so there's a lot of points to mention. Yeah, like today's industrial agriculture is not taking into consideration taking care of like not only future generations, not even the present generation. You know, like it's depleting our soils. It's not regenerative. You know, we need to be engaging in regenerative agriculture that's not going to be, you know, messing up the land that's here. We need to like do not monocrop, but we need to be rotating the different types of things that we're growing so that, you know, there's a a method, there's a formula to be able to work with the earth. It's a very alchemical process, and that is not overly complex, but there is like an intelligence to how you work with plants, how you work with the earth and nature, and how you do different things. And some of that, there's an awareness and a consciousness of that is starting to come out. But it's, you know, we've done a lot of damage, the governments and the yeah, industrial type of farming that's been happening and that is continuing to happen, not only with their methods but also with, you know, the different types of seeds, the different types of, like Pete's saying, the genetically modified things. I mean, who like they started you know, that uh method, or they started that type of experimentation with uh genetically modifying plants and things like that so that it could resist being killed from pesticides and toxins and things like that. And we're eating that. Like, what do we think that that's doing to us? You know, not only we're eating plants that have you know, been modified so that they can resist poison, but then we're eating that poison and whatever is going on in the biochemistry of those things. So no wonder people, there's so many different types of digestive issues, allergies that have started. People are becoming super allergic to corn, wheat, soy. And what do you think? Those are three of the big ones that they have done genetic modification
Yeah.
to. So we need to get back to more small scale farming. Yeah, I mean, you think you, especially if you drive through the Midwest of the States or other places, like you see these gigantic fields of corn, and what is, you know, where is all that going? And they are like doing some things like with it in terms of it's being turned into cereals or whatnot, but a lot of it does become like industrial products, you know, or it's just getting wasted and thrown out. And a lot of those farmers are subsidized. So the only way they can actually, and you know, they can figure out something else, but the way that they've been kind of pigeonholed into being able to make a living by farming is the government's like, okay, we'll give you a certain amount of money to make, you know, all this crop that's basically much of it's going to be wasted, and you're going to be destroying the land the short in the short run, in the long run and the short run. And And even then, with the subsidization, like the farmers are still like not really able to make enough money to, make a decent living or survive. It's a very hard life as a farmer. Um,
And
and
often, Frank, look, here, anyway, I have a few friend farmers, and they are told what to grow. They don't decide. They don't wake up one day and say, "Oh, I'm going to plant some." No, no. The
Mhm,
co-op here, there's a co-op, and
right,
they tell them what to grow in their field this year,
right,
and they give them the seeds. Like they don't
hmm,
go buy seeds or all plant. No, no, the co-op.
right,
So all the seeds come from a genetically modified source. Definitely, it's not. It's made to resist Roundup and all kinds of stuff. There's
right.
food in it, like name it. They have so many chemical products. I am not gonna start naming them all, but yeah. And often I like what you say. Never mind the organic farming. I don't even want to hear about organic. Talk to me about regenerative farming.
Yeah, right.
That I want to hear. And it's starting. There's a trend starting now in the regenerative farming method. And you see it
Mhm,
on containers. Like often you go in stores and you see it sometimes regenerative farm.
yeah,
That's a very different thing than organic.
hmm.
Organic is just a buzzword often, and it's like natural flavors. That's how I see it.
Right,
Organic is like natural flavors. It's
right.
There's all kinds of stuff hidden still
Hmm.
behind the word. Where
Yes.
regenerative farming, like you said, is the key because
Hmm.
then it's regenerative for the generation to come. Like
Yeah,
you don't destroy the soil now, and then you have to deal with all kinds of repercussion after because you can grow this, can grow that. Now you have to put something in the soil that like corn that grow like weed or something. You
hmm,
cannot have a very good crop growing on your field because you destroyed the soil. Like
right.
you have to put stuff that grow in destroyed soil.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what they do. They adapt the plant so they grow in soil that is depleted of everything. So
Hmm.
then you eat that food and it's depleted of nutrients and
Yeah,
everything that is good for you. So
yeah,
it's just like starch and nonsense
right.
often. So yeah, that's
Yeah,
what
and
I
so
see.
there's
But
a lot of problems where people, because I mean, PT has mentioned this a lot, and we've talked about it. It's like there's lots of food. You go to the grocery store, but where are the nutrients? Like you are
yeah,
kind of eating nutrient deficient food, so that makes us like our bodies run on the minerals, the nutrients, the energy that we get from what we eat. But if we're eating things that are very much hollow, or don't have like the nutrient density, then we are operating on, you know, a deficiency of like what our bodies need to run to recreate healthy tissues and things like that. We need like a food that's rich in vitamins, minerals, and all that kind of stuff, and that comes from healthy soils. That comes from a diverse range of different types of foods that we need to be feeding ourselves, and like what we have going on in our modern day with modern day diet and all that kind of stuff is very deficient in that. And like you were talking about the corn, like I mean there are so many different types of like ancient corns that are so different from today's modern varieties, and the native methods of eating corn. They had like what they call nishnamal, where you kind of puff the corn in a certain type of charcoal and salt mixture, and it kind of like does this like it's like a pre-digested kind of process. And then cornmeal, there's a lot of different ways, right, where you can like eat corn and be able to absorb the nutrients that are in it, rather than like we're just used to the corn on the cob today, which it tastes good, but at the same time, like
oh yeah,
like you say, it comes out. So what's going on with that?
butter and salt tastes good,
Uh-huh,
definitely.
yeah.
But it tastes good for a reason. Like it's because it's probably the butter and the salt you put on it and the sweetness. Like it's full of sugar. It's full of definitely it's sweet corn. But
Yeah,
I think, like you said before, there must have been corn that
the
your
older
body
varieties.
could break down.
There's so many cool ones. They're really pretty. There's like green corn. There's the speckled corn. I mean, some of them, in today's thing, it's more just like a decorative thing. But there are a lot of varieties that are edible that have like so many different, purple corns. I mean, the purple corn chips and stuff like that. There's purple
Yeah,
corn. There's white. There's yellow. I've seen. There's
yeah.
green corn. There's so many varieties, that have been kind of like swept under the rug.
Oh yeah.
So
Now it's not just the sweet corn.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then
No.
just the thing, the last reflection, like he's talking about the West didn't have any culture, and so like they don't have agriculture in terms of they've the ancestors of the European invaders have intentionally made a big disconnect from nature, and they've gone very anti-nature, anti-divine in many ways, and so they've also cut themselves off from how do you live in a harmonious way with the land, with the earth, like what are the methods, what are the foods, and the native peoples have retained that knowledge, but the more that they've kind of imposed themselves onto them, like that knowledge of how do you live with the land, that's been lost. So that's something, like we said, they're starting to come back. Regenerative agriculture, biodynamic methods, and things like that. These are things that have been preserved in India, and other indigenous peoples have kept that knowledge, fortunately. So
Look, there is things that even here in Canada, which I think it's positive, that the government of Canada is putting a new law out on the food when it's high in sugar, sodium, and fat. There's a label now on it. So it's going to tell you high in sodium, high in fat. Like, it's a start. I'm not saying it's everything, but it's
right.
a start. Like, a lot of people are unaware of that, those substance causing harm to their body. So
Right.
maybe warning them, maybe putting a warning label on the food will make them light up and say, hey, maybe there's too much sugar in there. But
Right.
yeah, now there's going to be a label on the food that is over 15%. I think you have to put a warning in front, high in sugar, high. So
Right.
it's kind of a start, and
Right.
the agriculture will be the same. Like, eventually, like, we see more and more regenerative farming method being used. It's positive, but we come from so far. Look at what's being done in the field. You think that's going to be turned around overnight? No, but at least it's positive. Like, there is change happening. You see it in the world. So I think we're on the way. Listen, this earth is evolving. Whether you feel it or not, it is evolving.
Yeah.
I am evolving. Frank is evolving. PT. A lot of people are on the path of evolution. So the earth
is going up.
the vibe is going up. People are vibing more, like more up and in with life, less down and out. That's what I see. It's look, we've born in a wonderful time. It's the most wonderful time to be alive. There is such huge change happening on earth, and if you feel it, you're going to be so in tune with it, and it's going to make you grow. It's going to make you expand your thoughts, everything. Like, you're going to become vibrant. You're going to become a light being. Like, that's what we all want. That's what we all are. We just live in the dark, and we are put in a very dark state of mind, but we can all become what we're supposed to be. Like, I'm not scared to say I'm a light being. What do you think I come here for? To spread light, love, and truth, and reality and stuff. And that's what I'm about. And I will not change. That's who I am. So I cannot change it. You cannot change who you are, even though you try so hard to change who you really are. You can't. You can't. That's the essence of you. So you're just, every time you're not being yourself, and you're pretending to be someone else, you're just burying more and more who you're supposed to be, the light being you're supposed to be. So no, it's definitely, but why am I
It's like
talking?
the energy of divine,
I don't know, but
and like that positivity, truth will always prevail. It's
yeah,
always going to come out on top in the end. And that is like our real nature. We come from divine. We
exactly.
come from And so like the more that we tap into that, the more that we start to like succeed, the more that we start to find real achievement through like well-being,
And love.
positivity,
And
and
love.
yeah, like we're moving toward that, and that is like the best feeling to go there, because everything else starts to ripple out in a fractal way and with positivity in your life whenever we're, you know, taking the proper type of actions. And it's so like in each one of us. It's like it
Or
reminded me of there's some Bob Marley track where he's like, we've got something they can never take away. It's the
yeah,
fire, you know?
yeah.
And so that fire within us, we have to take care of that. We have to, you know, like tend the fire of divine within us and really start to ignite that within us. So
That's why we log in. I always said it. Put one more log
yeah.
in the fire. Every time I come and log in on
Log
YouTube, I
in. Yeah.
put a log in my fire.
Uh-huh.
Look, I have a big, huge fire inside. I think everyone can sense that here. I'm
Yeah.
not fake, and I'm not pretend to be fake. And the day I start being fake, I'm out. So
Uh-huh.
I will always be true to myself, and I think that's what also brings a lot of love out. And when you're capable to sense that love for your own being, like bringing love into yourself as within so without. So
Mhm.
that's an automatic. It's not something you have to program into yourself to I'm going to become a love. No, you can be the word in the physical form.
Mhm.
I can be the word in a physical form. That's all it is. What obese? Can you not be the word in a physical form? Yeah, you can be fat. You can be the word in a so love is the same thing. You can be the word in a physical form.
Yeah.
And
So
look,
words are
love me.
powerful, you know, the mantric repetitions, they change you. The more that you start
Yeah.
saying the right thing, speaking the truth, like the word has power. It really does. And speaking
Oh,
it properly
yeah.
is like,
Gee, of course.
you
Yeah.
know,
And that's what we have as species, as the human. I don't like to use race as human. That's what we have. We speak. You know,
right.
how can we talk? We're talk. That's to me is so amazing that we can communicate together and just speak and words and stuff, and the brain that like no, I am sometimes so amazed about the human body. No?
Mhm.
It's crazy. That's why we should really treat it with respect. It's such a wonderful machine.
They're a
It's
magical
such
instrument, right?
it's a magical thing just to be alive and looking outside and see the beauty. That's what I told you. Just that is freaking magical to be able to see the beauty.
Right.
That's how I
Oh,
play.
no.
Like me.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm gonna go on and on and on here again.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I'm just so grateful to be here, just to be here and speak to you guys, and have been given the opportunity to rise and love, and
Mhm.
I will never stop. Anyway,
Yeah.
words are missing. That's me. I become emotional here often because it's life and it's our life and it does matter for me. It's I'm talking about saving our life here, saving our life vibration. So of course I'm going to be very assertive also in my comments. You can expect it. It's no joke. I don't come on YouTube to tell jokes and stuff. Yeah, sometimes I'm funny. I know it's my true nature. That's who I am. But I mean, it's not a joke. It's our life we're talking about
Mhm.
here.
Yeah.
So, myth of independence, Frank. I let you go on with this one.
Yes. Yes. This is another, you know, we had reached a P-log a little while back that was one of the longer ones. And this one also has some length to it, but it's really, this one's so powerful. And they all
Oh,
are
it's
in
a
their own
long
way.
one too, eh?
Yeah. 3-pager. So
Oh, okay,
let's,
okay. So
let's,
I'll let you go on.
let's dive in. Myth of independence. The word independence stands out amongst many buzzwords of the 20th century. From an arbitrary reset, lots of violence has been unleashed for the sake of this word. Many proudly proclaim themselves as independent just because they are able to support themselves financially through one means or the other. So, is financial independence independence? What about all the prisons in the mind? Is there any real financial independence? the day the banks say this credit/account is not valid, one loses their fictional financial independence. Same goes for the hand-drawn lines called countries. There have been major wars of independence in America, India, and the rest. But who got independent from whom? To my eyes, it's still a united kingdom. All the so-called independent countries are all in debt to a mysterious organization called World Bank, and all are dependent on it for loans to keep their pseudo-economies going. So when all the so-called countries got their so-called independence, it was only a sham, as the strings were now going to be pulled through a more intangible control tool, money. Military control took too much effort. Financial control was far easier. Nobody questioned anything because they were independent. On a personal level, this makes any person feel good. The ego is satisfied by the myth of independence when the reality is that most are just pawns in a game. The definition of independence has never been asked for. Oxford Webster's dictionary is satisfactory enough for most. Is a person in a prison with metal bars not independent? They can think what they like, dream what they like, put their attention where they want to. The only real independence anyone ever had was to put their attention where they wanted to, as in the devil or divine. This independence is called free will and cannot be taken away by any outside entity or force, unless one misuses it to an extent that amidst the twists and tangles, one feels one doesn't have a choice anymore. Any other independence which is sold in this world is a soap bubble, which, as we all know, is not something which lasts too long. All these independences do is create an unhumble attitude, cause, after all, even the Jedis are dependent on the Force.
Yeah, let me get my paper.
That one's awesome.
Yeah, that was awesome. Le mythe de l'indépendance en français. Le mot indépendance sort du lot parmi les termes à la mode du 20e siècle. D'une remise à zéro arbitraire, beaucoup de violence a été déclenchée pour l'intérêt de ce monde. Beaucoup se proclament fièrement comme indépendants, juste parce qu'ils sont capables de subvenir à leurs besoins financiers d'une manière ou d'une autre. Donc, est-ce que l'indépendance financière est l'indépendance? Qu'en est-il de toutes les prisons dans l'esprit? Et y a-t-il une vraie indépendance financière? Le jour où la banque dit que ce crédit, ce compte n'est pas valide, les gens perdent leur indépendance financière fictive. Pareil pour les lignes tracées à la main appelées pays. Il y a beaucoup de guerres majeures d'indépendance en Amérique, Inde et ailleurs. Mais qui est devenu indépendant et de qui? À mes yeux, c'est toujours un Royaume-Uni. Tous les pays soi-disant indépendants sont tous endettés à une organisation mystérieuse appelée World Bank, la Banque mondiale. Et tous en sont dépendants pour leur emprunt, pour garder leur pseudo-économie à flot. Donc, quand tous les soi-disant pays qui ont eu leur soi-disant indépendance, c'était seulement une imposture puisque les ficelles allaient maintenant être tirées à travers un outil plus intangible, l'argent. Le contrôle militaire demandait trop d'efforts. Le contrôle financier était bien plus facile. Personne n'a rien questionné parce qu'ils étaient indépendants. À un niveau personnel, chaque personne se sent bien. L'ego est satisfait par le mythe de l'indépendance. Quand la réalité est que la plupart sont juste des pions dans un jeu. Personne n'a jamais demandé la définition d'indépendance. Le dictionnaire Oxford-Webster est assez satisfaisant pour la plupart. Est-ce qu'une personne dans une prison de bureau métallique non indépendante? Ils peuvent penser ce qu'ils veulent, rêver ce qu'ils veulent, placer leur attention où ils veulent, La seule vraie indépendance qu'on n'a jamais eue était de placer notre attention où on le souhaitait. Le diable ou le divin. Cette indépendance est appelée libre arbitre et ne peut pas être retirée par une entité ou force extérieure, sauf si une personne en fait un usage abusif. Au milieu des torsions et des enchevêtrements, cette personne sentira qu'elle n'a plus de choix. Toute autre indépendance qui est vendue dans ce monde n'est que du savon à bulles qui, comme tous les savons, n'est pas quelque chose qui durera bien longtemps. Tout ce que ces indépendances font, c'est créer une attitude non humble, parce qu'après tout, même les Jedi sont dépendants de la force. I love this. Even the Jedi are depending on the force.
Yes.
Yeah, of course. And look, that's a big myth. But there's many, many myths in the world, like independence, like even being owner of a house is a big illusion. But your independence because you think you have money or stuff is often, if they look what they did not long ago, a few years ago, you thought you had independence to do whatever you want. No, they told you couldn't get out your house. There was a curfew. You couldn't come out your house. There was nobody in this. That was, I just rethink of it. It's completely crazy. But yes, we have done it because exactly we think we're all independent, but no, we are dependent on the system and we follow the system like crazy too. So being independent for me is a lot like, first of all, independence in thoughts. Like become independence in your thought. Your thoughts on depending on a system, they're feeding you thoughts. It's not even yours often. So become independence in thoughts, in prayers and stuff. Like have your own thinking. First, that's I think the first independence we should reach. And then after, maybe the rest would follow. You could be more independent also financially or whatever the heck you want to create for you. Start buying gold or stuff. I don't know what you can do to be financially independent in this world. Probably go with gold or silver or something. Start accumulating precious metals or something that has real value, because the paper money has no value whatsoever. They can and they make it devalue day after day. You get less and less for your buck. So that's by design also, to keep us in chain. But I think there is ways that we can become more self-sufficient, independent, definitely. But it's not through a myth of independence, of thinking, because we all think this thing that we are independent. But at the end of the day, if you really look at your situation, you will realize you're depending on a system that have created a false independence.
Yeah.
Give me your opinion, Frank.
This P-log is the real news. This is the kind of stuff that should be on the headlines. I mean, of course, it's got to be, this is the kind of thinking that is not allowed. You know what I mean? This is outside of the perimeter of, what is, appropriate things to share in terms of, politically correct and all these kind of things. Because it exposes, the sham, the wool that's been pulled over our eyes, that we've been, the whole emperor has no clothes or whatever, like we've been just like placed in this thing where we just have to pretend and we just have to play along with their fake game all the time. That's the only way that, we can go along. And so, yes, we can kind of camouflage ourselves and we can cloak ourselves in, those of us who are starting to awaken to like what life is really about. And then how can we operate and how can we navigate ourselves within this false system, but actually, okay, we're going to try to do what's right. And it's hard, because they try to stop anything from that's going to be kind of like a weed to them. People who are doing what's right, it's like, oh no, they're like that crab is starting to escape the tank, or whatever. Like they gotta pull him back.
That crab man.
He's back in here.
Oh yeah.
But it's there's so many good points that P hits. That through finances, that's how they stop trying to control people through gunpowder, but now they're going to do it through the coin, and have everybody. And then that the world has to operate through this mysterious organization, the World Bank, and then that's what they're dependent on.
Frank, there's two type of money: enough and not enough.
Yes.
You have enough to do what you have to do, or you not have enough. There's no such thing as accumulating. I don't see why accumulating millions of dollars. Honestly, you have enough, or you don't have enough. That's
exactly. And the thing is, like P says, there are enough resources for everyone in the world to have what you need, to have food, to have the resources, to have a shelter, to have clothing.
Why be greedy? Yeah,
exactly. Because they want to be lazy, because there's beings who want to be vampirical. They want to, they want to receive all the benefit of the riches of the world, but not put in the work to, to earn the fruits of the labor. You have to put in the work, and that's the real way. You have to put in work to be able to, and not that, it's just anything good does take a certain amount of effort, not that we, have to, I don't know, there's certain kind of stigmatisms around with certain ways of thinking. But just getting back to this, I love how P says, is a person in a prison with metal bars not independent? I love this perspective. They can think what they like. They can dream what they like. They can put their attention where they want. The only real independence anyone ever has is, where are you going to put your attention? That's the real free will that you have, on the devil or on divine, right? So even within a very isolated life circumstance, say that you are in a prison or different types of scenarios, you can, like if you can use your free will, your own initiative, your directive to try to live positively, certainly I've always seen kind of our dream state and our dreams and things like that. That's a place where, we're not confined by a lot of the world's,
And as far as I'm concerned, it says independence, not outdependence. I'm just saying. It says independence, so maybe we should depend on the inside.
Are you? Yes, right?
I'll just believe it like that. It's not outdependence, people. It's independence.
Right.
Well, I think
so.
But like everything else, we project outside a lot. We think that what's going to solve our issues is outside. It's inside.
Right. Yes. Yeah, there's like two different ways to achieve, power or a greater freedom. And that piece says there's the inside out method, or there's the outside in method. And the inside out is always going to be more powerful than the outside in, and there are outside in things that we have to utilize, right? We have to get things from our environment, get the resources, the food, the materials that we need, but it's cultivating the right type of attitude, the right type of energies within that connect us to this greater multiversal divine force that is the source of everything. The more that we tap into that, like he says at the end, even the Jedis are dependent on the force. And the more that we create a solid connection with that, that's where real magic comes from, and that's where we find ourselves in the waking dream. We're like, wow, you can really make magic in when you connect with nature, when you connect with the elements and the force and the stars and everything that we are inside of, so it's a beautiful thing.
There's something we cannot avoid in this world is what we put out. you'll have equal
Mhm.
correspondence. Like it's as within, so without. So whatever you put out in the world will come back to you, and probably in due time. It's not gonna come overnight. It's not because
Right.
you do a Truman show one day that overnight you'll have a reward or a blessing coming your way. But it will
Uh,
come. It will come in due time when you're ready. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. And it's like that for anything. When you're ready, the words will come to you, the answers will come. Everything you need for
yeah.
your journey will come to you in due time when you're ready. When you're
Right.
in that state of mind to attract that kind of stuff and
Hmm.
that kind of people or whatever you want to attract to yourself. But you make sure you have the right vibe because
Right.
people and things and events and synchronicity attached to vibration. So you got to
Hmm.
make sure you vibe by. And how do you vibe by? Love. Love is the highest vibration of all.
Yeah.
So love for higher and divine, love for yourself, love for others, love for the animals, the plant, the river, the tree,
Hmm.
anything, the crab that try to escape.
Yes.
Love, just love, so much love. And yeah, I think that can bring dependence really on the inside. Once you find that true love, that divine love within
Yeah.
yourself, the greatest love of all. uh, Look, you do magic with that stuff. Look,
Yeah.
it's not a secret. And also it's not a secret, the magic stuff. Look, it's not because we're doing magic tricks, look, like black magic and stuff. It's just
Right.
pure divine magic, and that is synchronicity. That is you starting to synchronize stuff into your life and
Hmm.
events and people and the blessing that's going to come your way. So you just get it. That's why I encourage everyone to go out to the world and do their thing, because you will attach to a certain amount of vibration. I attract people. It's not the messenger, it's the message. And we all
Hmm.
have to give that message of positivity, of upliftment and progress. And uh, look, I do it my way. Other people do it with music, others do it with, like, as long as we uplift each other to get out of this dark age, I
Hmm.
think just that is a great beginning, because
Yeah.
we're so far from the truth. Look,
Right.
as a collectivity, that I think just a little bit of positivity and upliftment, a bit of music, a bit of
Hmm.
positive vibe will just that make humanity grow and grow in love, rise
Right.
in love. Every It's all about love and beauty, and we are
Hmm.
capable of noticing the beauty and the love and the stuff. It's our responsibility to spread love everywhere, and we
Yeah.
can. That's what we're here for. Like, honestly, tell me we're here for something else than
Yeah.
love for higher and divine and love for this realm and people around. And like, it's easy to love someone, it's easy to
I
love for
I
us.
love how P connects. He's like, there is like love is intricately connected with evolution. There is no
Yeah.
love without evolution. Like they are one and the same, you know? And so to want evolution of everyone is that is to love everyone. To want evolution of yourself, that is loving yourself. So
Yeah.
go toward the natural, center yourself. Like, and like you said, we're doing it in all different sorts of ways, putting our work in, working for love. You know, we're coming here trying to spread a positive vibe. People are putting some music out that are they're trying to amplify like positive vibrations. People are out there in the fields like doing the right type of work that needs to be done to take care of the earth, to grow the proper foods. People are out there starting to work with natural products, natural clothes, natural fibers. Like, so these are the works that we're all trying to collectively put together to, you know, amplify positivity, to evolve
Look,
ourselves and to break free from this, you know, mechanism of,
I'm pretty sure one day we'll wrap the babies in linen again in the hospitals. Like, type of thing. Like, it's gonna come. People are,
uh,
because we're waking up. Hey, whoa, that is not good. So why would someone in their right state of mind would engage in something determined? No one would do it. And that's what we see happening. Like, people are starting to notice, oh, that's plastic. Why do I wear this? Because they
mhm,
have disguised everything. They call it like weird names that you can't even pronounce sometimes, like polyester or shit.
Yeah, exactly.
So they have disguised everything. Everything's in disguise. So you have to see through the veil, the disguise, and then you're like, whoa, that's not supportive. So I'm telling you, within 10 years, we're wrapping babies in linen.
I hope so.
Sure.
That's
I
the.
hope. I hope. Like, I'm just the babies and linen. Just the babies and linen.
Yes.
The baby will start bouncing in the crib now. I have a song, Steve Culture said, even the baby in the crib start bouncing. Yeah, because he's wrapped in linen.
All right.
Anyway, we're gonna let you go, guys, on this. Our job, Frank.
Yes.
Once
Likewise.
again, a delight to have you here today to talk sense, to talk
Yes.
sense with you. And
Exactly.
I'll see you next Moon Day. Definitely, I'll be here again.
Yes.
Vibrant,
We
and
shall
alive.
return.
Huh?
I said we shall return by the grace of divine.
By the grace of divine, we shall return. Boom, we're out. See you,
Yes.
people. I'm leaving it like that. It's all love, much love, every time.